Good afternoon. I'd just like to firstly offer you all a very warm welcome to this afternoon's webinar. My name is Sam Forde. I'm one of the partnership coordinators for the Open University in Wales and look after the area of North Wales and currently based up here, working from home on the 13th of May 2020. So without further ado, I will start the presentation. Hopefully you can all now see it on the screen. If anyone's having any visual difficulties with seeing the presentation, if you can just drop me a little note in the comments box that is running alongside. So during the presentation, which I hope will last about 25 minutes, I'm going to give you a bit of a whistle-stop tour to the introduction to the Open University of Wales, and then go on to talk a little bit about our OpenLearn platform, and then about the Open University in a bit of a more wider view, and then on to some of our careers and employability programs, and then finally rounding up with some funding and student support information. At the end of the presentation, I will be turning the presentation off and moving over to a live demo to show you some of the OpenLearn hubs that I will be talking about during the presentation. After which we shall open the floor to some questions, and Sian Cartwright has very kindly offered to moderate the question and answer session this afternoon, and we can talk about that in a little more detail at the end of the session. So the Open University celebrated its 50th birthday last year. We started back in 1969, and our vision, mission and values haven't really changed very much. We had a new icon or logo put together a few years ago, but our mission remains the same: to be open to people, to places, methods and ideas. And our vision is to reach as much more students with life-changing learning that meets their needs and enriches our society. So some facts and figures about the Open University and also about the Open University in Wales. So the Open University is a leading global distance learning university, delivering high quality education to everyone. We really are open to everyone, anywhere, at any time. There's no typical Open University student. People of all ages and backgrounds study with us for all sorts of reasons. Maybe to update their skills, boost their career, get a qualification, maybe a change of direction, prove themselves, or even just to keep mentally active. We are the largest provider of higher education for people with disabilities, and 2/3 of our students are employment whilst they study with us. We currently have over 183,000 students studying with us across the UK. We are made up of 4 nations of Ireland, Scotland, England and Wales, and we are the largest UK university. We are 10 times the size of an average brick and mortar university, and since 1969 have actually taught over 2 million students. And believe it or not, our average age is currently 27 for adult education, and the average prior education level is 1A level. And we have found that prior educational experience has often been quite poor with our students. We're very proud in the Open University in Wales that we've just reached over 10,500 students studying with us in Wales. So some similarities and differences between ourselves and brick universities. Well, we're very, very similar in lots of respects. We have the same type of qualifications. Our validation system is the same. We're funded through the Higher Education Funding Council for Wales, and we're also got a similar structure with a Vice-Chancellor, etc. We have tutor contact. with our students, and self-directed study, and option choices with qualifications, higher education certificates, diplomas, bachelor degrees, and also postgraduate qualifications. The assessment remains the same as BRIC universities, a mixture of assignments and exams that will either be sat online or in specific locations. And unfortunately, we do have a fee-paying system, the same as everybody else, but due to the Welsh funding, or the Diamond funding, that has seen an increase in student numbers over the years. I'll talk a little bit more about Diamond funding as we go through the presentation. We undertake an awful lot of research. You may know about some of our partnership work with the BBC through Blue Planet and the Planets programmes. And we also accept accredited prior learning or credit transfer, so you could come to us from another university if you're halfway through a course, or if you've got a lot of experience within your field and no formal qualifications, you could bring that accredited prior learning with you. Why are we different? Well, we don't have any entry requirements. You do not have to have UCAS points to come to the Open University. You do not have to have your traditional A-levels. We may advise that you start your learning journey into higher education with maybe an access course, but we are open to all. We do have a focus on part-time learning, but we are seeing more and more students joining us on full-time courses. And the best thing about the Open University, I think, is how flexible we are. Because we are a distance learning Open University, digitally based, you can really pick up or put down your learning at whatever time suits you, around your family, around your work commitments or caring commitments. And we are a cheaper option, actually. If you have a look at the cost of a standard degree, it runs just over £9,500 or just under £9,500. With the Open University, it's for an average year, the same as a full-time degree. It would cost you just shy of £6,000. And with us, the student really has control of their study time. They study around their own needs, as I just mentioned. So what support do our students receive? Well, a real great load of support through our student recruitment and support teams that we have based in Cardiff, and tutor support being the first on the list. And this is real individual support with personalised feedback and facilitated tutorials. They may be online or they may be in place once we get out of the COVID lockdown situation. Tutorials can take place in either venues. Blended learning, so a great mixture of webinars, tutorials, group and some face-to-face, depending on the courses that are chosen. Placements and also practical applications are really key in some of our more vocational degrees. Subjects are made up differently. A social work degree, for example, has an embedded placement. A science degree, you'd have access to our open labs in Milton Keynes. We've got a great online community, and students really can engage as little or as much as they want to, really. We have Facebook groups and interactive group tutorials, and peer support is really encouraged. So our resources are varying types of online materials and also materials sent to you in the post. You know, good old-fashioned books and workbooks will be delivered to the door. And the quality of the teaching material really is second to none. It's very, very high. We have a central careers and employability team and programs that go along that. There's specific careers advisors that can help guide our students along their journey. And we have, and I'll come back to some of those more specific programs that we have running in Wales a little later on. We have varied assessments same as any degree. It could be an end of module assessment. It could be, as I said, an exam. And there also is a variety of teaching methods, but teaching is actually done in English. However, you can communicate with the university and present work and sit exams through the medium of Welsh. So I'm going to move on now and talk a little bit about our OpenLearn platform. This is about bite-sized learning and free learning on OpenLearn. And we can really provide learning on many different platforms and formats. For example, you can download OpenLearn onto your Kindle, Google Play, YouTube. Really, if you have a device and an internet connection, you can learn literally anywhere. So each year the Open University likes to give away for free around 5% of our prospectus, and so we openly share that learning material. The educational website where we put all our free informal study is called OpenLearn, and these are short online courses and resources from levels 1 to 3. Now, a level 1 is equivalent to sort of a GCSE grade D, a level 2 is a GCSE grade A to C, and a level 3 is about the same as an A level. We have over 1,000 short courses on here, with new content being added every month. And during the COVID lockdown, we've been adding hubs onto the OpenLearn site where you can find similar material all linked to the same web page, and I'll show you some of those as we go on. And you could study anything really, from essential skills in maths and English right up to studying David Bowie or sports coaching through to Italian food. We have the OpenLearn Cymru sites, which were launched last month, and these are 2 specific webs that concentrate on courses around Welsh culture, history, and also Welsh language. Most of our courses range in length. Some are as short as 2 hours, some up to 48 hours, and my advice really was to have a look, get stuck in, find something that you're interested in. You can track your learning and on the OpenLearn site by creating an account, and I'll show you during the live demo how to do that and where to go. It's great to be able to track your learning, especially for whilst you're in employment, for your CPD, the continual professional development. If you're having an appraisal coming up soon and you might need to prove some additional development, OpenLearn is a fantastic site for doing that. We're also part of FutureLearn, and FutureLearn is where we put courses for our more confident learners, and where we particularly place our MOOCs, and a MOOC is a massive online open course, and this is devised in conjunction with other universities. Validated modules are free, but it will give an insight into subject areas of interest. Believe it or not, 17% of our OpenLearn users are under the age of 25, so we are definitely seeing a lot younger audience coming to the Open University and to our OpenLearn website. Really flexible. Courses are available immediately, so as soon as you click enroll, that's it, you're on the course, and you can work through them at your own pace. With almost 1,000 courses online today, we're seeing about 15 million people visiting OpenLearn, and during the COVID lockdown, some of our daily hit rates have gone from 800,000 hits a day through to nearly 2 million hits on one day, and the IT team have been working really hard to ramp up our servers to cope with the huge influx of online learning that we've seen over the last few months. So I mentioned about tracking your progress and recognition and working towards those courses. Once you've finished the course, you can download immediately a free statement of participation. You can print this off at home in colour or in black and white, and you can also, on some courses, get a digital badge. Now, these courses are normally 24 hours long, but the digital badges are great for using on your LinkedIn profile, maybe your email signature. You can even use them on an electronic CV as proof of continual development. So I mentioned before some of the hub pages that we pull together. Skills for Work, for example, which would look at digital literacy, leadership, etc. Skills for Study, so that could be writing or critical thinking. Skills for Life, so that's lots of courses around family, relationships, health, money, finance, and again, I'll mention the everyday skills, and these are functional skill courses actually, and we do have them in level 1 and level 2 in Maths and English, and these are also available bilingually through the Welsh Hub. We also have a newsletter, and I would thoroughly recommend that you subscribe to our newsletter. You'll get monthly updates which will tell you all the new material that's been added that month, and also what our 10 most popular courses have been, and 10 most popular short courses and short learning materials. We have over 130 courses in business and finance, and our vision, really, going back to that, is just to break down the barriers to education and to reach millions of learners each year through our free educational resources. So once you click onto OpenLearn, this is the page that you will see. It's really easy to navigate. You can just type a keyword into the search bar, click enter, and away you go, or dive in and go and explore. This is what the new Open Wales Hub website looks like. And as I mentioned, we have the 2 sites here. One is in Welsh language and the other is about Welsh interest courses. And this is what the electronic badges look like. So these are our box or badged online courses, and as I mentioned before, these are 24-hour learning, and we really encourage people to try these slightly longer courses to encourage informal to formal learning. So potentially that sort of in-between step between moving into higher education, maybe doing a certificate, a diploma, or even a degree. So it's a great preparation tool. It's fantastic for engaging in skills and employability. You can use it, as I mentioned before, for staff development, reward and evidence of continual professional development. So these are the 8 main online badge courses that have been put together in partnership with Google on their Google Learn platform. And some of the ones that I would really recommend having a look at is Working in Diverse Teams. That's a really great course. Communication in the workplace. Leadership and Followership. Developing Career Resilience. So they're all well worth having a look at. So during the COVID lockdown, we have been putting together some new landing hubs, as I mentioned. So if you have a little look at the bottom of this slide, these are the landing hubs that we currently have, and I'll show you some of those at the end of the session. So we have a landing hub for social work and social care, so for people looking to return into that arena. Business support for small and medium-sized enterprises, a hub for teachers and student teachers, mental health tips and resources, courses and hobbies to try while you're in isolation, healthcare, so again a specific hub for returning into the healthcare arena, and also courses for school study. So for those of you like myself that are busy juggling full-time job and homeschooling, there's some really great tips and courses, short courses, just to help you along that journey. Today I looked at the top 5 courses, and if you have a look at the top of the slide there, you'll see Introduction to Child Psychology, Attainment in the Early Years, Understanding Autism, and Forensic Psychology. That was the 4th most popular course today, and Beginner's Spanish. That took me by surprise, but maybe people are planning ahead to escape to the sun when this is all over. So just a little did you know, just a little reminder there that you can spend as long as you like on the courses, you can work at your own pace, you can find the courses free of charge, and they're also available immediately, and you can track your learning and do things around your busy schedules. So I'd like to move on now to talk a little bit about the Open University in Wales. So as I mentioned, we are 4 nations, and I'm based with the Cardiff team. We have some specific programmes to Wales, those being the essential skills I've mentioned before, and the Postgraduate Certificate in Higher Education, the PGCE. So the everyday skill courses are great courses for improving everyday maths and English, reading and writing, and they're available in the 2 levels, and also, as I said before, in the Welsh language. We also have the Open Science Laboratory. Well, this was launched back in 2013, but it still seems a really new resource. It was launched in partnership with funding from Wolfson Foundation, and it's a real sense of place where real data is interfacing with the user. There's some loads and loads of practical virtual science experiments. There's over 100 with on-screen instruments and remote access equipment. There's virtual scenarios, and there's links to 2 optical telescopes in Tenerife. There's a STEM course called Science Launchpad, and there's a fantastic satellite tracking resource in that suite of courses, and a real great sort of scaffold, I suppose, of activities for pre-university students. So if you are thinking that you might like to study a degree, then you could dip in and out and have a look at some of these resources. There's over 100,000 student hours available through our practical investigations, and a lot of this is available if you're not an Open University student. A lot of it is still free access that you can use from just coming through our Open Science Lab website. So the Open Science Observatories, as I said, there's 2 that operate remotely from telescopes based out of Tenerife, but we also have a radio telescope based at our campus in Milton Keynes. And the Open Engineering Lab, which was launched in 2017, has got some fantastic practical lab-based teaching for robotics and electronics and engineering, controls and materials as well. And then we have the Open Networking Lab, which is for practical computer networking skills. So I'd just like to tell you a little bit about the Open Degree. The Open Degree is not specific to just Wales. We offer it across all 4 nations, and this is really like a pick and mix degree where you can pick and mix modules from a suite of modules that interest you, and it doesn't matter if they don't naturally flow. You'll come out with a Open Degree qualification, so a Bachelor of Honours or a Bachelor of Science in Open Degree. You could have a Bachelor of Science combined STEM Open Degree, so you can really meet your interests around a range of science, technology, engineering or maths type modules. You could also throw in a psychology module, a sports science module, and the Open Degrees really you can study any subjects you like in combination, and building a qualification that's just unique to you. Employers find the open degree a really great source of knowledge, especially some of our SMEs where you are expected to get involved in lots and lots of different aspects of the business. You don't just do an open degree, you can do an open diploma or even a certificate of higher education. And as I mentioned before, if you've not considered studying at higher education and you feel you need to brush up on your study skills and improve your confidence, an ideal course to get you started is an open access module, and you may be able to study this for free depending on your own personal circumstances. We also offer the traditional undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, and a range of subjects really: arts, humanities, business, computing, design, education, engineering, health, social care, languages, law, maths. We've even got medical studies, nursing, psychology, science, social sciences, and also technology. So being Wales's largest provider of part-time undergraduate university study, we've got a really wide choice of qualifications over a very broad range of subject areas. Once we get out of COVID lockdown, you are very welcome to come and visit us in our Cardiff-based office if you wanted to come in for a chat and talk about potentially moving your study forward, but also keep an eye out for some local events throughout Wales. We will start up those open days again just as soon as we possibly can, and in the meantime we are looking to put on a virtual open day for the Open University. So I mentioned before PGCE, so the Postgraduate Certificate of Education. Well, we were very pleased indeed to receive the contract from Welsh Government to deliver this new part-time and work-based teacher training programme in Wales. A real high-quality alternative to full-time study, and it was designed to equip teachers into delivering the new curriculum in Wales, which launches in 2022. It's also available bilingually. We had a small cohort start in science subjects in February 2020, and then we have further subjects being added in October, particularly the primary school route. So if any of your members are working as teaching assistants or within a school environment that actually hold a first degree and are interested in following into a teaching route, they may very well be interested in doing a PGCE with us part-time alongside their jobs within their school environments. So I mentioned before about our employability programs, and we have some that are specific to Wales, and I'll just run through, first of all, tell you a little bit about our digital degree apprenticeship program. So this is really an outstanding opportunity to mix that work-based learning with like a fully funded academic learning. We have been delivering the digital degree since August 2019 in applied software engineering, and the engineering and the advanced manufacturing degree apprenticeships are coming online now. And when Welsh Government first launched the digital degree first, we were really pleased to be involved in the delivery contract of that, and with Wales investing over £2 million in digital apprenticeships, being part of the pilot was great. And although employers do need to let their employees release their employees from their role for 20% of their working week, with the Open University, that 20% of time needn't be a day out of the workplace, a day off to go to college. Our students could do their degree any time around their working schedule. They could drop in at lunchtime, they could have maybe a couple of hours training on a Thursday morning and a couple of hours on a Monday afternoon. It's really, really flexible to fit around the needs of the business. And we've heard from our employers that they really like the flexibility of these digital degree apprenticeships with the Open University. I mentioned some specific careers and employability programs that are specific to us here in Wales. Go Wales, if I start with that one. This is a work experience program for students who face barriers in securing placements, and the placements can range from 1 to 20 days of shadowing, work tasters, and also placements themselves. And we're always looking for employers that would be interested, and sympathetic employers really, that would be interested in hosting one of our students on one of these Go Wales placements. We also deliver virtual internships, and this seemed all very new to us 6 months ago, where students can stay in place, stay at home and do projects virtually for employers, but it doesn't feel so new anymore, this being the new normal and we're all working remotely. But again, if you've got a project or an idea and you think you could potentially host a student between 4 and 8 weeks on a virtual internship, please do let me know. If you're an SME, then potentially we can look to give you £1,500 funding towards paying the salary of that 8-week placement. But again, get in touch with me and we can talk about that more. The degree apprenticeship program I mentioned before, I've gone through that. We've also got some very specific courses for our carers and a specific support package for any of our students that are carers. And we are also partners within the Cardiff Capital Region Graduate Scheme with Cardiff Met, Cardiff Uni and also University of South Wales. And this is a free recruitment service for any businesses located around those nine regions of the Cardiff Capital. And it's a graduate recruitment programme where you upload your vacancy and the 4 universities will talent spot from our graduates and then put on a assessment recruitment day, and the graduate also gets to do an ILM, an Institute of Leadership and Management qualification level 4, free of charge for them during their first 6 months with the company. So coming to the end really of the presentation now, looking at funding and student support. So Diamond Funding is a fantastic funding package launched by the Welsh Government back in September 2018, where as an undergraduate you can claim up to £4,500 of funding towards living costs. This is on a sliding scale and it is based on household income, but definitely worth having a look at the calculator on the Student Finance Wales website. We've seen a huge increase of students thanks to the Diamond Funding here in the Welsh office. So the student funding options are pay-as-you-go, maintenance grants, as I've just mentioned. We also have part-time tuition loans. We also have employer sponsorship, which may be of interest. If you go back and talk to your HR departments and find out what's in their training budgets. We have a disabled student allowance scheme, the Disabled Veteran Scholarship Fund. So there's a number of degrees that are fully funded that we give out each year to disabled veterans, and we've just launched the Carers Bursary Fund, which is 50 fully funded degrees for carers. 15 of those bursaries have been put aside for students that are under 25. We also have bursaries available towards that access module that I mentioned earlier, that module to sort of get you into higher education learning. So I mentioned before about the cost, so a typical fee for the 60 credit module is just over £1,000 currently. If you've already got a degree yourself and maybe looking at some higher level qualifications, the Diamond Funding also offers up to £17,000 towards a postgraduate study, and this has just shy of £7,000 of non-repayable grants within that. So really is a fantastic time to take on some higher level study as well. If you go onto our website, there's a great link there that will take you straight through to more information. So that brings me to the end of the sort of formal part of the presentation. Please do get in touch. I'm one of 3 partnership coordinators in Wales. As I said, I look after North Wales. I've got my colleague Helen Thomas, who's South West, and Sarah Roberts, who's based at the Cardiff office of the South East. Follow us on Twitter and on Facebook and LinkedIn, and really looking forward to sort of getting to know you all a bit better and to hearing from you. This is my personal contact details just there. And this webinar, as I said, has been recorded, so that will be shared, so you can pass it on to your colleagues. So before we move on to the Q&A session, I'm just going to stop sharing this screen, and then I'm just going to move over and show you my desktop. I just wanted to give you just a little quick demo of some of the hubs that I mentioned. So, for example, this is the OpenLearn website. You would just type in here anything that you're looking to search. You set up your own profile here. It's very quick and easy. You just need your email address, and that will start tracking any online learning. And this is what we're looking at the moment, is actually one of the hubs that I mentioned. So this is a selection of free courses and content for school and study. So as we roll down the page, you'll see there's links here to those everyday maths level 1 and 2 that I mentioned before. You can save this for later, you can print it, you can email it to yourself, you can also share the articles on social media. If you were thinking of coming into the Open University as a full-time student or a part-time student, then there's some suggested degrees that you might want to look at down there. So moving on down, some more courses, some video clips and articles to read, some English courses here, some literature courses, right down to the bottom of the page where we'll find some science links out. As I said, planets, maths for energy, introducing mammals, ocean explorer, and then down to languages. That's that Spanish course I mentioned that seems to be very popular today. You can learn Welsh as well. It's a really great beginner's Welsh course on here. So that is just a little live demo of our OpenLearn website. And I'm going to stop sharing that now, and I'm going to open the floor to a Q&A session, and I'd like to welcome and introduce Sian Cartwright, who's going to be moderating that session for us.